Good afternoon, church. Happy Wednesday. This week's midweek greeting is a little bit different than normal. Normally, when I'm on vacation, I don't record a midweek greeting. However, I've decided to pre-record one this week in order to communicate a few more details regarding fall ministry startup and what the board is working on. As was announced on Sunday and communicated through last week's midweek greeting, fall ministry startup at EAC will be happening later than usual this year. After having most of our ministries shut down for the last year and a half, there's a sense of expectation and anticipation that things will start up now that COVID restrictions are lifted. And as a board, we share this excitement and anticipation of things starting. However, we've decided to delay the start of ministries in order to process a few things well. During the 2019-2020 ministry season, the board at EAC identified a common concern in many ministries: a shortage of leaders. Leaders were getting tired after serving in the same roles for many years, and those assisting with leadership were having to serve in multiple ministries, and it seemed some ministries would need to be restructured and perhaps even shut down. This was communicated to me through the candidating process prior to being hired, and I was aware some decisions would need to be made very quickly regarding ministry leadership and structures when I was hired. In between being called to serve at EAC and my official start date, the COVID-19 pandemic started, and our world changed quickly. The board decided that in order to abide by the restrictions on public and private gatherings, and as a way of caring for our church family and the broader community, that all in-person gatherings and ministries at church would be canceled. It was in this environment that I started pastoral ministry at EAC. In essence, the church was closed. Over the past year and a half, much of the ministry focus at EAC has been on how to be the church when we cannot gather as we would like to. How do we care for one another? How do we worship together? How do we grow as a body when it feels like we're being torn apart? As the board has prayerfully considered these and other questions arising from COVID-19 restrictions, we've seen numerous changes happening in what ministries are meeting and how or where they've been able to meet. We've also seen new ministries started in an attempt to provide opportunities for all ages to worship together, to pray together, and to grow in relationship with Jesus. Considering the past year and a half and the challenges the board has dealt with, one might wonder if the questions regarding ministry leadership and structures got put on hold. I want to assure you that that is not the case. In fact, COVID-19 shutdown provided a blessing to us as a board. It gave us the opportunity to take time to prayerfully discern regarding ministry needs without the pressures of ministries running and leaders becoming more and more tired. While the logical solution to a leadership shortage might be to find more leaders, the board at EAC has made the decision to look at the immediate concerns in light of the big picture of how God is wanting us as a church family to grow. Rather than simply looking for leaders or restructuring ministries, the board has been asking the Lord to show us what areas He is wanting EAC to grow in, and if the immediate needs and concerns being discussed are the main issues, or rather symptoms of some deeper things God is wanting to address in our life as a church. It's our desire to use the clarity on areas of growth to be the foundation on which discussions will be made regarding ministry leadership and structure. If God is calling us as a church to grow in a specific area, then everything we do as a church should be moving us in that direction. As a board, we have discerned specific areas of growth, ministry priorities for the 2021-2022 ministry season, and some goals in these areas. And in 2 weeks, we'll be meeting to finalize these decisions and to put them together in a format that can be presented to current ministry leaders and to the whole church family. But rather than giving a mandate on what ministries of the church will run and how they should be led, it's our desire to process these things with current ministry leaders and together to discern how all of the ministries can work together to provide opportunities for growth for all ages in these areas. Together we will discuss what ministries can help us grow in these areas and how we can structure ministries in a sustainable way, looking realistically at our current church size and demographics. The final step in this process will be to communicate with the whole church family the decisions that have been made, with the goal of starting the 2021-2022 ministry season after Thanksgiving. Between now and then, some of our Bible studies and prayer groups may choose to meet, and that's fine, because adjustments will just simply be made as needed in anticipation of the official kickoff of the new ministry season. While processing this has taken a lot of time, there is an excitement on the board about what God has in store for EAC. Yes, COVID shut down ministries, but God has been doing ministry in our church family. He has been working in the hearts of people. He's been working through the lives of people, and He's been using the last year and a half to prepare EAC for what He has in store for us. If you have any questions or comments or concerns for any one of our board members, we would love to chat with you. Feel free to reach out to any one of our board members to start a conversation, or send an email to board@estevanalliancechurch.com, and we can begin that conversation. Thank you for your continued prayers and support for the board. I want you to know that we are committed to praying for you, as together we are intentionally becoming people who embrace and reveal God's love.